Welcome to Rose Call. My name is Thee, Thee. We're going to be journaling with oracle cards with the energies of Mary Magdalene, the Rose, and Mother Mary. Be sure to tune in, receive your own messages, trust yourself, utilize your imagination, be present, be still, receive. Mary Magdalene, the Rose, Mother Mary, I think it's a Mother Mary card missing. I'm gonna have to look through the deck. Go back and watch all the videos. Presence. I exist intensely. I call myself back from all times and all places. Scholars believe that Christ spoke Aramaic, among other languages, and the Aramaic word for death translates as existing elsewhere. This translation implies that when the body ceases to function, the essence of who we are, this presence of love within us, still exists, just mysteriously somewhere else. Death, then, is not an end, but a transition, an irrevocable transition. A transformation from being present in the body behind our eyes to being present in a place that's ultimately unknowable to the living. This translation of death also allows us to understand the way that the egoic self can cause a form of death by forcing us to exist elsewhere. At different points throughout our lifetime, the strength in the 7 powers that Mary Magdalene names in her gospel is they compel us to exist either in the past, painfully regretting or longing for what was, or casting our presence into the future, clinging to what might be. So many of us live like this, ransoming our present joy until we reach some distant point when we have what we think we want. The 7 powers of the ego takes us from the present moment. And the only place that we can actually create change in our lives is when we have the courage to just be with the presence of love right here within. So every time we return from the death of existing elsewhere, in the past or in the future, we're coming back to life. All it takes is to be present again. All it takes to come back to this body, to this one ferociously precious life, to this potent moment in 3 breaths. And this is both the easiest and hardest part about being human, because it takes becoming aware that we are no longer present, and that's the hard part. It takes waking up again and again, fighting our capacity to be here, to exist intensely. And for those of us with histories of trauma, the work is even more intense, and the return is even more in triumph. Soul voice meditation. What can I release to exist intensely in the present moment? What can I release to exist intensely in the present moment? After the rain, silver lining, relief, hope, mercy, it's over, acceptance. There is something very special and sacred about the moment after it stops raining. The atmosphere has released all that it was holding, and in return, the earth has been cleansed, replenished, nourished. It's a similar feeling to the moment after we stop crying. As those salty healing waters fall, they activate oxytocin and endorphins, which create a shift in how we feel. What was once overwhelming now seems possible. And while we may not know it consciously, noticeable growth will soon follow. After the rain, it's all about hope, healing, beginnings, endings. Emotions are soothed. Broken hearts are on the mend. Times of trial are over. Mercy can be felt. There is a moment of relief. A new, encouraging silver lining can now be made out in the distance. What's been challenging and difficult has or is about to ease up. If you've been going through a difficult time, this card is here to reassure you that things are about to ease. You've been through the worst of it, and now hope is here. These past weeks, months, or even years haven't been straightforward. They've likely asked you to dig deep, endure hardships that have tested you, but now, at long last, there are smooth seas ahead. What you've learned and how you've grown can never be taken from you. And now it's time to enjoy the warmth of the blessings that life has in store for you. Glorious new beginnings are now possible. Soul inquiry. What are you ready to release? What are you ready to release? Very interesting that is the second journal prompt about releasing. Our Lady of Growth Assured. There is a beautiful manifestation which you have long desired coming to fruition now. It is important to the well-being of your own soul and the healing of our world that you have patience and allow this birth to happen at best timing. If it happens too soon or too late, there will be unnecessary complications. I will take care of the timing, and as you trust me, you will find the birth of your dream happens naturally and with great joy. There is something that you are considering embarking upon, either a new project or taking a chance on a new entrance or a social connection or even a new philosophy. Perhaps it is a letting go that will lead to a new start. The Oracle of Our Lady of Growth Assured comes to you to tell you that your success is already determined in heaven. What needs to be now is your continued effort, prayer, surrender, and patience on the physical plane, and most importantly, your positive expectation without any attachment as to how it will happen. That your situation is working out and will manifest perfectly. If we want to manifest something truly special in our lives, something that perhaps is a little out of the ordinary or contrary to what most people think is possible, then the blessing of Our Lady of Growth Assured is very helpful. To manifest, we start with the inspiration or impulse from our heavenly divine self that translate into inspired ideas, then thoughts, and perhaps plans. As we add our heart and passionate energy into the mix, we generate the fire we need to eventually act on opportunities in the physical world so that our manifestation can be complete and successful. The more extraordinary our desired manifestation, the more it is likely to challenge mass beliefs or tip our world upside down, even in the most wonderful way. And the more likely it is that there will be delays or difficulties with our manifestations. This is because we will be bumping up against some powerful opposing forces. The negative expectations of the world can cause even the brightest spirit to slump from time to time, losing energy and forgetting to trust in the unconditional love and incredible power of the Divine Mother. So when this happens, our manifestation process gets a little bumpy, hitting some snags here and there. If we don't come back to our center, using the healing process for this oracle, we speed up the process again, getting back on track. Our Lady of Growth Assured comes to tell us not to give up. She tells us to have patience, to work on feeling open-hearted and open-minded about our manifestations and how they can come into being. We work on feeling the energy of what we want to create. So if it is abundance, for example, we work on cultivating that feeling of abundance as best we can, all the while remaining open to the manifestation of our intentions, without attachment as to how, when, or what it will look like. She tells us not to turn away in fear or failure. In fear of failure, especially when this oracle comes to us. Our manifestation is actually not far away at all. There is an expression that it's always the darkest before the dawn. It is true with the manifestation process. Often when all seems most hopeless and signs of future life of our desires are apparently non-existent, it is the moment before the birth. We must keep our faith and not require that we see all in advance, or even that we have proof along the way that something is happening. It can be hard to trust in circumstances, but if it helps bring your dreams to life, then it's worth the effort. The Oracle of Our Lady of Growth Assured comes to you and brings you help in trusting in your process now. A message that your desires are coming to life. Trust and know in your heart that your growth is assured and that your dreams are manifesting at the perfect time in the perfect way. That's beautiful, actually. Release the doubt, the fear, the need to control, and be present. Present with your knowing. Healing process and affirmation. Close your eyes and imagine or perceive a garden is thriving with life. There are new shoots and mature plants. The garden is well balanced and healthy. You notice a woman in lovely robes seated on the ground next to a garden bed with a child who has enjoyed playing in the soil. At the child's hands, there is a fresh green baby shoot sticking up in the soil. The child looks at it and begins to tug at it, trying to make it grow faster. The woman laughs and gently touches the child's hand. The child stops tugging and waits. Together, they watch the shoot as it grows. It matures in its own time, with the loving care of the lady and the attention of the child. Notice if the plant stays young or grows into a mature plant. Notice if it has leaves, flowers, or fruit. Just be with what happens in your creative visualization. When you are ready, say the following affirmation aloud to complete your process, repeating it 3 times. My spiritual growth and heart's desire manifests in the perfect time and the perfect way, assured of success by the Divine Mother's grace. My spiritual growth and heart's desire manifests in perfect timing and the perfect way, assured of success by the Divine Mother's grace. My spiritual growth and heart's desire manifest in perfect timing and the perfect way, assured of success by the Divine Mother's grace. Peace.